You are listening to The Art of Sales. Everyone sells every day, and this is your source for conversational, real-world sales and prospecting methods that you are comfortable using and that get results. You'll help people buy instead of pushing them into being sold. Here's your host, Art Subcheck.
I'm going to talk about some very common phrases that salespeople use that cause others to lie. And you might have used them, and you probably have heard them, and probably lied as a result. Let me explain. I was listening to some recorded calls in preparation for a training program, and I heard these being said at the ends of calls that really weren't going anywhere. Well, keep us in mind, okay? Oh, let me give you my number in case you need anything. So have you ever used anything like that? I mean, really now, do you think prospects are scrambling for their pens when they hear things like this? No, they're not. When I'm a prospect, I don't feel guilty at all when I respond with something like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll keep you in mind. And therefore, these phrases make liars out of prospects. I mean, let's face it. They have no intention of keeping us in mind or writing down our numbers. I mean, these are throwaway phrases. They don't accomplish anything positive, and they give no reason for the listener to ever want to consider keeping you in mind or calling you. But you can and should salvage something from these types of calls. So let's look at what you should do and say instead. And the first point is determine if there would ever be some potential. A money and time-wasting mistake is hanging on to prospects when there's no real shred of evidence that the person is even interested. Maybe you've experienced it. These prospects, and I'm using air quotes here, they're recycled through your CRM. So you look at the notes, and then you get this empty feeling when you recall your last dead-end call. And since there's nothing that happened since then, or nothing that's leading you to believe they're any better of a prospect today, we just skip them. We go through the next one, and then postpone the inevitable. Or we call and experience either rejection or another put off, another lie. And another error is letting them go when, hey, there could be some potential. So what do we do instead? Well, let's find out for sure. Let's ask. You could use something like, so Mike, under what circumstances would you ever see yourself considering another source? Now, notice the wording here. It's a question that not only asks if they ever would use someone else, but it also asks for the circumstances that would surround it. For example, I've heard prospects respond with, well, I suppose if I ever got into an emergency situation where they weren't able to deliver, then maybe I'd have to look elsewhere. Then you have an opportunity to pick up on that remark and continue questioning. Now, on the other hand, if they say, look, you're wasting your time here. Just quit calling me. Then you could write them off and move on. And you can feel good about it since you got a decision. When you continue to recycle contacts who will never buy from you, that's just simply rescheduling the next brush off. Hey, your irreplaceable commodity is time. So you've got to protect it with all you have since you'll never get that back. All right, number 2, the next point is to proactively give them something to think about. Again, the keep us in mind phrase is worthless. If you truly want someone to keep you in mind, let's give them a reason. And let's tie it into a problem that they might be experiencing or could experience, a problem that you could solve. That might prompt them to not only think of you, but better yet, to call you. So let's say a sales rep knows that she can help a company lower their property taxes, but they either don't see the need at this point or don't believe her. So she might end the call with, well, Pat, I still feel we can help you. So here's something to consider. When you review your property tax itemization, take a look at the specific valuation and charges for your out-of-state properties. Now, if you feel those taxes are high and you question them, keep in mind that we are specialists on the tax laws in every state and know the best way to challenge and eventually lower the bill like we do for our clients every day. So I'll send you an email with my contact information. If you would please, could you put that in your tax file? And then give me a call if you feel it would help if you reach that point. All right. So bottom line, don't make liars out of people. The process is simple. Determine if there ever would be potential. And if there's not, move them out of your system and look at that as a victory. And if there is, then to give them examples of situations to look for and associate them with the problem you can solve. And when they do experience those problems, you're going to have a much greater chance of them thinking of you, and we haven't made them liars, right? Okay, you know what time it is.
Your attitude will be iron every way, you'll never feel what they say. It's the art of the sales quote of the day.
That's right, time for the quote of the day. And today's quote comes from The Rock. That's right, Dwayne Johnson. And Dwayne says, success at anything will always come down to this: focus and effort, and we control both. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Success at anything will always come down to this: focus and effort, and we control both. And here's something else you control. You control you telling somebody else about this show. So would you please do it? Somebody who could benefit from this information as well, send them to our show site, theartofsales.com, theartofsales.com. I will thank you very much, and they will as well. And by the way, if you prospect, or if you prospect for a living or just need to prospect, I encourage you, get a copy of my flagship book, Smart Calling, How to Eliminate the Fear, Failure, and Rejection from Cold Calling. You can get it at Amazon, but if you go through my site first, we're going to give you some free training. So here's where to do that. It's smart-calling.com, smart-calling.com. All right, thank you so much for investing your valuable time with me. Until next time, go out and make it your best sales day ever. I'm Art Subcheck.